Coachella is the most powerful festival brand on the planet, but in 1999, it lost nearly $1 million, and by 2000, it was dead. The story of how a desert disaster conquered the world begins with one unlikely concert. On November 5, 1993, the desert outside Indio, California became the unlikely epicenter of a music industry rebellion. Pearl Jam, locked in a bitter standoff with Ticketmaster over sky-high fees, refused to play any venue tied to the ticketing giant. Instead, they chose a place nobody in the business took seriously, the Empire Polo Club. The plan was radical. Ditch Ticketmaster, sell tickets directly by mail for $16, and see if anyone would show up. 25,000 fans answered the call, turning a polo field into a sea of bodies under the desert sky. Local authorities worried about traffic, but the city council signed off, lured by the promise of $1 million in food sales. That night, as Eddie Vedder's voice echoed across the sand, Golden Voice's team realized something big. A remote, sun-baked field could draw stadium-sized crowds. The experiment worked. The desert was no longer a blank canvas. It was a stage waiting for its next act. Behind the scenes of Coachella's first official festival in 1999, the numbers were brutal. Tickets were just $50 a day, but the cost of building a desert oasis, stages, security, water, and logistics spiraled out of control. By the end of the weekend, Golden Voice, led by Paul Tollett, was staring at an $850,000 loss. That was not a setback. That was almost failed, with headlines calling the festival a financial disaster, and the event in 2000 was scrapped before it even started. But Tollett was not done. Instead of doubling down, he pulled back. In 2001, Coachella returned as a single-day event, a stripped-down low-risk experiment. The lineup was tighter, the budget leaner, and the focus shifted toward musical discovery. This pivot did not just save the festival, it rewired its core identity. Suddenly, Coachella was not about chasing blockbuster profits. It was about curating moments, testing boundaries, and building something that could actually last. In 2012, Coachella's organizers pulled off a move that would redefine what a festival could be. Instead of adding more days or cramming in extra acts, they did something bolder. They duplicated the entire lineup across 2 consecutive weekends. For the first time, every set, every headliner, every moment, repeated back to back. The result? Capacity doubled overnight. Over 100,000 people flooded into the desert each weekend, shattering attendance records and creating a tidal wave of demand that rippled across the music world. Scalpers and superfans scrambled for tickets, but exclusivity stayed intact. If you missed the first show, you had a second shot, but the lineup never changed. Behind the scenes, Golden Voice's strategy team watched as the numbers soared. Suddenly, Coachella was not just a West Coast destination. It was an international pilgrimage, with fans flying in from London, Tokyo, and Sao Paulo. The 2-weekend model did not just make the festival bigger, it made it unstoppable. And with that, Coachella crossed the line from regional experiment to global phenomenon. Every April, the Empire Polo Club transforms from quiet grass fields into a pulsing desert metropolis, almost overnight. Behind the scenes, an invisible army of stagehands, electricians, medics, and safety planners swarm the grounds, working in shifts to build and run a city for over 100,000 people at a time. Security teams, numbering in the thousands, fan out across the site, while hydration stations line every major path, pumping out tens of thousands of gallons of water daily to fight the relentless heat. Medical tents stand ready for everything from dehydration to dust inhalation emergencies, staffed by EMTs and nurses who treat dozens of cases each day. When the wind picks up, the festival's Weather Command Center tracks gusts in real time, ready to halt performances or evacuate crowds if a dust storm threatens. Even the towering art installations, some weighing over 40 tons, are engineered to withstand high winds and can be dismantled in hours if the forecast turns. Every detail, from the placement of misting fans to the design of emergency exits, is calculated to keep a temporary city running smoothly in one of the harshest environments on Earth. With every new system, the costs and the stakes for the local community keep climbing. Hashtags not headliners now drive the pulse of Coachella. In 2012, Coachella was tagged about 150,000 times, By 2018, that number exploded past 4 million. The crowd shifted. It became less about music discovery and more about being seen. PR Week estimates that nearly half of Coachella's revenue now comes from brands, VIP lounges, and influencer deals, not ticket sales. Meanwhile, the price of admission soared, from $50 a day in 1999 to over $500 for a basic pass, with VIP tiers pushing well past $1,200. For many, access is not about loving a band. It is about joining a curated, photogenic world. And the real currency? Social media clout. Every April, Indio's city ledger lights up with numbers that sound almost unreal. The transient occupancy tax, money collected from festival goers booking every last hotel bed, soared to $9.2 million in 2025. Local hotels hit 95% occupancy, sometimes higher, with nightly rates spiking for 2 weekends straight. Sales tax receipts from restaurants and stores pile on millions more, but the windfall comes with a catch. Public services stretch to the breaking point. Police overtime alone cost $2.1 million last year. Sanitation, traffic control, emergency crews are all racking up bills that only exist because the festival does. Some residents call it a jackpot. Others see a city on festival life support. The question lingers, is Indio cashing in or just keeping up? Coachella isn't just a festival, it's a mirror for our culture's ambitions and contradictions. As its influence grows, the real question is, what exactly are we celebrating now? Drop your thoughts below.